Hello guys, today I want to show you how to print in a very easy way. You can do it in elementary school, junior high, as well as in the high school, or even for yourself at home. All what you need is ink, and I would suggest that you purchase the Speedball printing ink acrylic one, not the oil one. You need spatula or scoop some of your ink from the container and then spread it on the foam board, and then we'll need foam. I would not use vinyl cardboards because they are dangerous, especially for the kids. I don't like to harm myself, so instead of using those sharp tools, I use the scratch foam boards, and they come in the size of 6 by 9. I simply cut them into the half, and then I create nice images. I also, for the printing, I use different color of the paper, but this is like a printing paper of different colors depending which color of the ink will I be using. And notice, like even with this particular image, I used the color of the paper, which was black, with some yellow, so I already have two colors just with doing one print. And then if you want to, you can apply on the roller 2 different colors, and then you have even 3 colors. In this case you just have 2, but notice how important it is to think which color to use as a base for the image, so that you can use to the max the color of the ink that you will apply on the top. We will be working on a very simple project. I just want to give you an idea how you can start, and you can see that there's already half of the regular sheet of the scratch foam board. So I'm placing the package on this side. All what I need, my ink, I choose the color, and then accordingly I choose the color of my regular printing paper. Then I need the foam board on which I will spread my ink. I need 2 rollers, and I need 2 rollers because one of them will roll ink on the top of the scratch board once the image is on it, and the other one will be to get the image on the paper. And yes, you can use the brayer. I like to use just the rollers. Now you will need some masking tape because you need to create a special board so that you can mark the size of your foam board with masking tape around, so that later on, once the image is scratched and we apply the ink, you will be able to place it exactly when you want. And then notice I also have another tape around, and this tape represents the size or the dimensions of the sheet of paper that will apply on the top. Once I have the image scratch and with ink on the top, then I'm placing the paper very evenly, and then I will roll with my roller on the top to make sure that the ink will come on top of this paper. So that's all what we need, guys. This is very important to have. Because it's acrylic ink, you can dilute it with some water if you want to. Just be careful, not too much, not too little. I print the images for my kids, and what I do, I put 2 of them on one big sheet of paper, 11 by 8.5, so that I can print it the way and then later cut and adjust them to this foam. Now notice the trick, and it's very important how you will create this image. So I decided to create the print of a rooster. I will secure it to the surface of my foam board. Remember, this is the one that we cut into the half, and like this. Okay. The step is now to use any tool. It doesn't need to be a pencil. It just happens that I have the pencil here. You can use something not really sharp, like for example this should be okay, but I will use the pencil. So now I'm pressing, but make sure that the pencil, if you use it, it's really not sharp, because we don't want and the line coming through. And make sure that you press it evenly and that the line will be a little bit wider. And why? We want to make sure that you will have those spots empty, and you will see that they will stay white or not white, of the color of the paper that you will be using. If the surface will be too shallow, then the ink still will be projected onto the paper. Remember, those lines can't be too skinny. We have to make them wider. Now I'm removing my template, and notice what I have. I can really see the grooves in. So now I will be using the same pencil. It doesn't matter that the lines are left with the pencil in. See what I'm making? I'm making the lines a little bit wider, and I make sure that they are deep, but I do not want to go through. If it happens, then make sure that you use masking tape, because otherwise the ink will come through and we don't want to have it. Okay, as you can see, all the lines are already created. I'll make them wider here and there. Okay, this will be coming forward, I'm sure. This one. Okay, guys, so we are ready with our sketch. You can see it here. I just deepened the lines. And now we have 3 colors and see what will happen. So paper is here on the side. This is a very important part for us. Now is the ink. There. You can see. And now what I'm doing, I'm applying it, notice, very evenly on the, like a line here. Okay. This is already diluted with some water, the ink I mean, because in the regular form it's a little bit too thick, at least for the project that we will be doing. I need to make sure that I have my surface here ready, and I need to have 2 of my rollers. Paper towel, but I suggest that you have a wet cloth for the kids to clean up their hands. Notice, well, I have to make sure that the roller is completely covered. So when you work in the classroom, make sure there's not too much, not too little in here. When it's too much, again, there will be too much for the roller. So this is good. Still roll it here, well, a little bit. It's always with the first one. Maybe I will use my other board here, the foam board. I don't need to have too much. This is not necessary, but I just like to do it. Okay, I would have another board here on which I can place my image. And now, using the roller, I will roll the ink on the top of the surface. Don't leave any spots empty. Go to the sides as well. Make sure that it's evenly applied. Good. We'll leave this roller, and now very carefully we have to transfer our image onto this board. Normally I would have 2 set it up, one next to another. Then I can work very efficiently, especially when you have a big class. Okay, you can see it. It's inside of the rectangle, the green one. Clean up your hands, because when you pick up the paper, you have to make sure that your hands are clean. And now, the first paper. So we use this off-white paper, and make sure again that you place it evenly. Whoa, boom, perfect. Keep it with your hand, and now with the clean roller you press it evenly. And I suggest that you go to all sides. Notice my hand, it's still on, pressing the image, making sure that I don't move it, because otherwise the image won't be clear on it. Go to the sides, and always check that the roller is clean. Have cloth, some dry, some wet, that the kids and you can clean up the hands. Voila. So now, carefully, notice how I take it. My hand is on the paper, and then slowly but surely I roll it. Ooh, wow, 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 wow. Notice. Ha! What we have? We have the first image. Notice, it's there. I just want to show it to you. Voila. So the first image is done. Now I want to do another print. So, let's see. I have to take it off. I have to clean up the surface, right? Because I don't want to have paint on it. And now I'm moving to the second roll. So I'm taking my lovely rooster image. Again, I have my board with the ink, and now I'm rolling it again on the surface. Always check that this is enough ink in this board, because when it's not enough, then the image will not show up properly the way you want it. The same here. You can right away see when it's not enough or when it's too much. So if it's too much, you have to roll it off. Now this is done. I'm moving it on the side. Then I'm placing my board here, and then I'm transferring my image very carefully. See, putting it inside. I'm cleaning up my hands because I will get some ink on it, and I want to use this type pinkish color. Carefully to the edge, and now that's it. We can move it. Very good. I'm keeping it with my hand to keep it stable, and now I'm rolling on all possible sides. Now we move the roller back on the side, and now keeping my hand on the top of the paper, I'm removing the paper from the surface. Look at this. We have the second image, and I will show it to you. Voila, the second rooster. So that's how you create the prints. If you want to have two different colors, you can do it. Of course you can do it, but you have to line up then the paper properly, and it requires a little bit more measurements, which is okay, and especially for the high school or even junior high, for sure you can do it. So you can see again the image, you can see that the ink went a little bit too much inside, so you can discuss it with your students and talk about, okay, so what went wrong? Did I press it too much? Did I get the lines not deep enough, engraved, and so on and so on. So this is how we work on it. Make sure that you have a flat surface on which the paper can dry, and then enjoy it. Make sure that the kids sign it on the bottom side, either right or left corner, with the pencil. I hope that you enjoy it, and you will continue working with your students. So have a good day and enjoy working. Bye.